I'm just going to be walking you guys through how to use Anki to study for your first semester skills class. As I've mentioned before, this is something that I used last semester and it worked really well for me, so I just wanted to share it with you guys. Alright, so the first thing you're going to want to do is download Anki to your computer if you haven't already. So you're just going to Google Anki and then go to the first website that comes up. And if you click download, it'll take you here to the website and you can download whichever version is the right one for your operating system. Alright, so once you've downloaded it and installed it, I've already done that, so it's already here. You're just going to open it. And then I'm going to make a new user just so it shows up. It looks like how it'll look for you guys when you download it for the first time. Okay. And you're not going to have this. This is an add-on that I have, and I can explain more about add-ons later. But just for the basics, for opening the deck, this is the one that I'm going to send to you guys, and I've updated it for your semester just with the schedule that you guys have. You guys have 3 quizzes and we had 4, so I just kind of reorganized and moved some things around. So to open the deck, you're just going to double click it and then click close and it'll show up here. So you click on this and then go to browse. This is the window where it'll basically show you all the different cards that there are. And as you can see up here, there are a lot of cards overall, and you don't want to start studying everything all at once, so I'm going to show you what you can do to add the cards for each lecture to the cards that you're studying as you go through the course. So as you can see here, I've added tags to the cards, so if I open these up, they have sub tags. And let me make this panel bigger. All right, so the first lecture that I have here is the one that you actually have tomorrow. It's February 1st, Hygiene and Activity. I know that you guys do have a couple of classes before this. I just hadn't made cards for those last semester, and as I looked back at the lesson plans, I feel like they weren't, like it wasn't a ton of information, so I didn't bother making cards for those, and I figured it works out if you just start tomorrow anyway, because these have more information and things you need to memorize. All right, so because as I told you, there's a lot of cards overall, what you want to do is basically, Anki has this thing called suspending. So if you just click on this deck and then select all, it'll select all the cards and then you want to suspend all of the cards. So you're going to go to cards and then toggle suspend, and then it's going to make them yellow like that, highlighted. So then basically these cards are like taken out of the rotation of the cards that you're studying. So that's basically the page you're going to see when you're finished with your cards for the day. So let's say you go to class this day and you learn what you need to learn. You've already gone through the lesson plan and everything, and you want to start actually trying to memorize the information and get it into your long-term memory. So what you want to do is you've selected this sub tag, and then you're going to select all and then go to toggle suspend, and that's going to unsuspend the cards for that lecture. So you're going to do this basically one lecture at a time as you go through the course, and it'll add those cards to the ones that you're studying. As you can see, this lecture only has 20 cards, which is good because you guys are you're just starting out. This has like 70. They all have different amounts. Some of them have a lot, like this one might be the one with the most. Cardiac and respiratory has like 231 cards, but don't get freaked out. It's doable. All right, so let's see, I'm gonna close this. And you can see it says 20 cards here. That's just a coincidence that that deck is also 20 cards. The reason it says 20 there is because these are the default settings. It's actually set to 20 new cards a day. I was trying to look through and see what would be a good number of cards for you guys to do every day so that it would split the work up into kind of manageable chunks, but you would still get it all done on time. And I think I'm going to say do 50 new cards a day. And then for maximum reviews, you're just going to put a really high number like that. And this doesn't mean that you're going to get 50 cards every day. This just means that when you unlock or unsuspend a new deck for a new lecture, that's the maximum it's going to give you that day, even if there's more than 50 cards. So, for example, if you have one of those bigger decks, or sorry, the sub-tags that you're unsuspending for a lecture, like the cardiac and respiratory, that one has 231 cards. It's only going to give you 50 cards a day, so it'll take you 5 days to go through all the new cards for that. So yeah, the 50 cards, that should be okay, and then I would leave all the other settings the same for now. I just want to point out one thing. One of you guys did send me the syllabus, which is good because I wanted to see how your guys' schedule was. So doing 50 cards a day, it should work out, with the exception of there's one lecture, this one. The GI and GU one, I do have a lot of cards for that, and I'm assuming that that's going to be on your quiz too. So that one is going to be a little bit challenging to memorize all that before the quiz too. 315. This one has 114 cards, so I feel like you can go through all of those in one day. So if you want to do that, you can just go back to your settings right there and then raise your maximum card number for new cards in a day. Or you can just start doing these cards a couple days early. So, but for all the other ones, like your first skills quiz, that last lecture that's going to be on it is on 217. And you don't have your quiz until 222. So you have 5 days. So doing 50 cards a day, basically for everything else, should be fine. All right. And I just want to go over reviews really quick, what that means. So here, once you start doing the cards, you're going to see there's 3 columns. There's the new cards right here, and this numbers are going to be your learning cards, and then your due cards. For the maximum reviews per day, that's the due cards. You want to set it to a high number just so that you're doing all of the reviews that Anki thinks you need to do in a certain day, because that's the best way. It doesn't mess up their algorithm, and it just helps your memory that way. I was trying to predict, if you do 50 cards a day, how many cards are you going to have to do overall each day? And I think it'll be higher some days, lower some days, but I think it'll average out to around 150 to 200 cards every day, counting your reviews and stuff. And that might seem like a lot, but it actually goes pretty quickly. Like for me, I've been using Anki for a while, and I can go through the cards pretty quickly. And I can probably do 150 cards in like 20 minutes. So overall, I would say plan to spend like 20 to 40 minutes a day on doing your Anki cards. Personally, I actually enjoy doing the cards more than other kinds of studying or doing assignments. And as I've told you guys before, it's really effective for helping you remember things. So I think it's a good use of 20 to 40 minutes a day. And I would give it a try. It might not be for you, but I think it's worth a try. So for actually doing the cards, let me show you what that's going to look like. So you're just going to click on the deck and then go to study now. And actually, before you study them, I would recommend, you're going to be doing these after your lecture, so you're going to be already familiar with the concepts, but it does also help to just go through in the browse tab and just look through what the cards are going to look like. because the more familiar you are with them before you start memorizing, it's just going to make the whole process go quicker and more smoothly. And then you can see kind of how I've worded things. A lot of these are just copied and pasted from the lesson plan, and then I basically make, it'll quiz you on certain things. That's what these, they're called closed deletions are. So I would just go through and then read through all of these before you do the cards. All right, so let's say you've done that and then you're ready to study them. So you're just gonna click study now. And then with this red bar, that just means it wants you to guess whatever's behind this. So if you were looking at the browse tab, you know that that's just the name of whatever this position is called. So this one is Fowlers. So to show the answer, you're just gonna press the space bar. And I can see I was right, Fowlers. So when you get something right, you wanna click good. And then if you get something wrong, you're going to click again, and it's going to show it to you more quickly. So it's going to show it to you in 1 minute, versus if you get it right, it's going to show it to you in 10 minutes, and then it'll move on to a longer interval after that. So for this card, I'm just going to put good because I got it right, and you can just press it with your mouse, or you can see there's a shortcut. You can press the number 3. These go like 1, 2, 3, 4. Or the quickest, if you're getting a bunch right in a row, is you can just keep pressing the space bar. Because the space bar, it both shows you the answer for the card, and it's also another shortcut for good. And then this one, I believe it's protective supine. So I'm going to press the space bar, and I was correct, so I'm just going to press good. And as you can see, this number is going down. This is your new cards, and they're going into the learning phase. And then you're gonna review them one more time. It's gonna show it to you after that 10-minute interval for good, and then it's gonna go into your review phase, and then you're gonna see them the next day. And then if you get it right again, it's gonna show it to you again at an even longer interval. So those are what the cards with the images look like, and then these are what the cards with just the text look like, and it basically just wants you to guess whatever this word is here. The ... So hold gate belt and stand on patient's weaker side, I believe. Yeah, so then I got that right. I'm just gonna press good. You can also press hard and easy, but most of the time I would say just stick with good or again. Okay, and I think the only other thing I want to go over right now is add-ons. So this is one of the add-ons I use, and you can see you would just go to the add-ons tab. These are the different ones I have. You don't really need all of them, but this one I feel like is helpful. It's called Review Heat Map. So if you just Google Anki Heat Map, which I can show you in a second, it'll come up. And then what I like about this is shows you how many cards you've done each day, and then it just kind of keeps track of things and keeps you motivated. And then also it'll show you like how many cards are due the next day. And one important thing I want to point out is that you definitely want to do all of your due cards every day, and get through all of your learning cards too. I definitely recommend that too, but for sure your due cards. And basically, I'd recommend when you unsuspend a new lecture, just go through all of the cards until you get to that page that we saw in the beginning where it said something like, congratulations, you finished all your cards for the day. And then that'll really keep you on track, and you shouldn't have to cram really before exams if you're keeping up with this every day. So for the heat map add-on that I was talking about, you can just Google Anki heat map and then click on that. And this is what it looks like when you've done it for a while, and you can see that based on different colors and how dark they are, you can also just hover over it and it'll tell you how many reviews you need to do on a certain day, so that's nice. And to actually install the add-on, you're just going to scroll down until you get to this box, and you're just going to highlight that, and then you're just going to copy and paste that into your add-on page on Anki. So that's pretty much everything I wanted to go over today. I know that Anki can definitely have a learning curve, and it can seem kind of daunting at first to try to figure it out, but I'd say just give it a try and see if it's something that you think will work for you. And if you have any questions, you can reach out to me, of course. Yeah, good luck with this semester, you guys.